Welcome to the Business Behind the Scene podcast with Francesca Moi, where we talk all about real business problems, real solutions, and getting actual results in your business. Welcome to episode number 137 of Business Behind the Scene. Now, are you doing everything alone? Are you in your business and you are trying to do it all alone? Listen, I'm going to the Maldives in a couple of weeks. And me and my team are working now. I'm still working 28 hours a week. I'm doing things in advance to get the momentum so that when I go away, I don't have to do anything. So we are super organized, right? So we know exactly what type of work I need to approve and I need to do every single week. And so we're now moving it all forward because I'm going to take a month off and we're going to work it out in a way that we are organized and I don't have to work when I'm on holiday. Does this sound like a dream? I know. I'm going to be in the Maldives, enjoying, oh my gosh, I'm going to have the time of my life. And that is because I was able one day to take a risk, to make a choice, to let go. Let go of control, let go of trying to do it all by myself, let go of, it just takes me 5 minutes to do this one thing. I can do it. I can do this. I can do that. Of course you can. You can do it all. But is it worth it? Any task that you have to do more than once, you should be delegating. So today, my mission is to get so many businesses free up the time. It's not worth it. You don't want to work harder, you want to work smarter. You don't want to work 60 hours a week, you want to work 20. You want to find a way to delegate things that you don't have to do. You only should do the few things that nobody else can do. The tasks that I do are things like approving. So I approve content, but I don't write it necessarily, right? I teach, I coach, I do Facebook Lives, I do podcasts. I create the content by speaking it out and coaching my clients. And then my VAs do everything. Right? They do everything else. They transcribe, they repurpose, they create blogs, emails, and then I just go in and approve it. Yep, I'm okay to do this email to go here on this day at that time. I'm okay for this post to be repurposed here. I'm okay to do this. I'm okay to do that. And I just keep boom, 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 creating all these steps that's going to help me to just take away the hand. Like I don't have to do it all. I'm not alone in business anymore. So my mission is to help all business owners that are thinking that they have to wear all those hats and they have to be stressed and they have to be overwhelmed and to have to overwork, to work less and buy time. There's nowhere in the world, there's one thing that everybody tells you, you cannot buy time. Yes, you can. You can, because you can hire a virtual assistant that does things for you while you focus on a zone of genius. And I am so passionate about this because while you do that, you don't just buy time for yourself, you also buy freedom for your virtual assistants. Those people that lived in the Philippines that are amazing and they've got so much potential and they don't have opportunities that we have in our countries. So by supporting them, we can actually change their lives and buy themselves time as well, because they don't have to commute 2 hours from and to work. They don't have to pay for people to look after the kids. They can do it all while they work on your business from home, which is priceless. So here we go. When I talk to you guys, stop doing these things in your business. If you're a business owner, just stop doing those things that are not serving you, that are not helping you. Number one, doing it all alone. Honestly, legit, if you're trying to do it all alone, you're never going to be able to scale the business. You're never going to be able to take things to the next level. You're never going to be able to serve your clients to the next level because you're stuck. You're stuck doing all the little work. You're stuck working behind the scene. You're stuck. And then slowly, the more we disconnect from our audience, from our clients, the less we feel like doing it. And so we're hiding, and it does not make us feel connected and closer to our audience, to our clients, which means we're going to do it less, which means we're going to be invisible. We're going to stay invisible. We're not going to be able to help people. So doing it all alone is such a small mindset. Means that you are in scarcity, that I can't afford it, but you're probably thinking you can't afford it. you cannot do it. You're probably thinking all these things, right? And it's not fair to do that. Sorry, I don't know if you heard that, but my dog was going out the door, and I've got some tradesmen at the office at the moment. I was like, you can't go that way. So I had to chase him. So I just paused it and I'm starting again, which is fun. This is what happens when we're doing things, authentically, and we don't have to pretend, right? So I'm back. So doing it all alone is just not going to serve you. It's not going to serve your clients, and you're not going to be able to scale the business. You're going to be able to make more money, and you're going to stay in the same place that you are right now. Number 2, wasting time on tasks that are not your forte. I've done that. I used to spend hours on my PowerPoints, hours on my canvas, or like creating posters and flyers and make things pretty. No, my skills. And even if it is your skills, because some of you, I was saying that to the other someone, and like, I'm a graphic designer, it's fine for me. I'm like, yeah, but are you now? Like, you've got that by trade, you are a good graphic designer, but is that where you really want to spend your time? Or do you want to spend time coaching your people? So even if you are good at it, delegating it, because you don't want to get stuck in behind the business. You want to do the task that nobody else can do. And it could be sales and coaching, right? Hopefully sales one day, like I've got people selling for me, which is great. One day you can let that go. But at the moment, sales and probably coaching will be the things that you've got to focus on, right? Your expertise, the things that you're very good at. So those are your forte. This is your zone of genius. Anything else, as I said before, that you do more than once should be delegated. Let me give you some type of example, right? Onboarding. You get a new client, then what happens? Oh, not much, usually people say. Okay, so do you send them a congratulations email? Okay, that should be templated, and then should be your virtual assistant using it. What else? What else do you do? Do you invite them inside of a Facebook group and introduce them and welcome them? Oh, no. Well, maybe you should. If you don't do that, maybe you should do that. That's another thing that your VA can do. Do you celebrate clients as they come in on your social medias? No, maybe you should. That's another thing that your VA could do. Right? Do you give them access and login to your platforms and making sure that they have everything they need, and maybe do like a quick welcome call to tell them, everything, where they find everything, and, making sure they're being supported. You don't do it? Okay, you should, and your VA should do that. So all those little things are tasks that you should be delegating to your virtual assistant. If you are doing them, if you're not doing them, you should implement them. But there is so much more, like, filing away your emails, or like I had my emails. Okay, I'm going to tell you a secret. I had my emails on literally at one point, I had 12,000 unopened emails. I know, embarrassing, I know. But listen, I was overwhelmed. I was like, I don't know where to start from. I gave it to my virtual assistant. They deleted all the folders that we had at the time, archived everything, and start over, and created 10 folders only in my emails. And now I can stay on top of it. Now it's easy. It takes me 2 minutes a day, which is good. But before, it was so overwhelming and it was so stressful. So little things like that, just pass them along, create procedure, and then you'll be able to stay on top of it. Number 3, stop keeping control by not delegating. Like thinking that you might as well do it. Time that I teach it to someone and explain it to someone, I might as well get it done. I don't agree with that. I agree with that. I believe that anything that you do once, you should delegate it, because that way you can start to move away, remove yourself from the business, and start to be a CEO, not like an operator. We want to move away from being an operator of your business to being the business owner, the CEO, the person that control, that check, that approves, but not keep control of everything, of the whole team, or all the things, right? So by us keeping control, we're not allowing the virtual assistant to grow. We're not allowing our business to grow. We're not allowing our clients to get. I was talking to a client of mine, and they're like, my clients will love me to have a virtual assistant because I'm so disorganized and they have to chase me all the time. And it's so frustrating for them that they would love to have someone in the team organized to actually give them the knowledge of what's happening and when. I'm like, oh my God, that is so good, right? So get a virtual assistant so your clients can enjoy the journey and not have to beg you to send them stuff, right? And number 4 is fear of letting go. What if they ruin my reputation? What if they make a mistake? What if they will? They will make a mistake. They're human. And so what? What do you make that mean? Why you want to be a perfectionist? What is the point? We all make mistakes. I've made mistakes. I sent them the other day a template message to someone and I put the wrong name. Fantastic. And I'm like, there we go. This is why I delegated to a virtual assistant usually. This is why, because I am not detailed. I am not a detailed person. I am very good at approving things. I can see other people's mistake easily, but when I do stuff, I do it so quick that I miss things. And I don't want that. That's not what I want to put out there. So having a virtual assistant, it will help you to actually be able to check mistakes and not do mistakes, right? It actually is going to help you even more. So if you're doing any of these 4 steps, I would love you to send me an email and tell me which one is the one that you felt so I was talking right to you. Because if you felt like I was talking right to you, then what is holding you back? The only thing that will hold you back from finding a virtual assistant or get a company like mine to find your virtual assistant, as you guys, we do that. We have trained over 200 virtual assistants for our clients, and it's just been amazing to hear the amazing feedback that we've got from some of the clients. I wanted to read to you guys some of the comments that our clients told us. We send like a 1 month's feedback to see where they're at and what aspects of your VA are most valuable to you. And this person said she takes initiative, she wants to learn and find information. She really is trying, and I'm very, very happy with that. Like this one. Oh, Ollie boy, I'm sorry about barking. Wait a minute. There you go. Now you even heard Ollie boy barking. So another comment we have, my VA has been super helpful in the back end of our video project, helping with uploading audio for transcription, time coding. She's been also processing invoices, as well as setting up files, organizing files, and processing tasks in Google Drive and teamwork. We're very happy with her and the process and everything that you guys helped her with, which is so good. And one more question is like, what would you do? What would your business look like if you didn't have a VA? I'll be doing all the work. I would have less time for my clients and less time to get clients. I will be in a world of pain. And one person said, I wouldn't grow at all. So if this is you, then we just need to understand exactly what is holding you back. Let's get it. Let's get one virtual assistant. You can do 20 hours or 40 hours, and we would love to help and support you. If you haven't done so yet, send us an email, empoweringvirtualsolution.com. support@empoweringvirtualsolution.com. So if you send us an email there saying, I want to book a game changer call, I want to see how you guys can help me to get a virtual assistant. And in this call, what we're going to do is going to map out all the things that you can delegate to a virtual assistant. We're going to help you see what is the time that you need a virtual assistant for. Is it 20 hours? Is it 40 hours a week? And then we're going to be able to start the process to help you find an amazing person to help you in your business. All right? No more pain, no more doing it all by yourself. Get someone that has your back, that has someone that can help you and support you to grow the business. You're not alone anymore. Let's do it. Have a great day, and I'll see you later. Hey, if you enjoy listening to this podcast, then you have to come to check out our Facebook group, Workshop Secrets for Coaches. It's a community of over 9,500 coaches that are ready to boom their business by running workshops. They are stuck in one-on-one coaching and they're ready to start to go one-to-many. So if you are one of those coaches, then you have to join us. I look forward to see you there. And hey, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave me a review to win a ticket to one of my workshops. I look forward to see you there.